Okay, so let's see what's going on here, Leo. Um, well, there's two individuals here besides yourself, and you may be coming up as the Queen of Pentacles. I feel you would be presented here more in the center than in the King of Swords. But it may be that you're also dealing with an earth sign. So Leo, I'm sorry, not Leo, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Can also be that you're dealing with an air sign. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Sorry, give me just a second here. The computer has a pop-up. Drives me insane. Okay. So I'm seeing here that you may have been in a position where you've had to defend your position or your beliefs about something with this possible earth sign. Again, this earth sign can be represented by you. Maybe I want to say that you're looking at manifesting more material wealth for yourself. Maybe that's been a challenge. Maybe you're learning some hard truths about the reality of your finances or the reality of making money, how you want to make money, how you plan on investing money. But there's some realization that I kind of feel like maybe in the past we've been a little bit fun-loving, right? And maybe a little bit frivolous with spending. And in the past, maybe even manifesting material wealth hasn't been necessarily challenging, but maybe it's just spending habits, or maybe what you've invested in that didn't really, bring about a good return. And so it's kind of left you in a position where I feel like this maybe started this last month in October and moving into November, where you're kind of sitting back and you're looking at your situation and you're questioning what specifically am I doing wrong? What needs to change? And if it's not necessarily spending for you that is the challenge, it may just be maintaining strong sources of income or revenue. So the month of November is about, I feel like in October, early November, it's about kind of reflecting on this and figuring out what needs to change or what you want to change about this situation. And then we come into a phase in, I want to say the second or third week of November, where we're actually taking action to manifest the wealth and the material abundance that you want in your life. I think, though, that there is a part of you that wants to figure out a way to build wealth while maintaining a sense of freedom or a sense of fun, because I feel like you're missing out on that with the Page of Wands and then the Nine of Wands looking at the Page of Wands. I just feel like maybe you just have this young, carefree kind of energy where you just want to enjoy life. You just want to celebrate. Maybe you just want to enjoy the holidays coming up, or you're already planning your vacations and you're looking forward to them. But there's a need for you to be present. And I want to say, because we do have the King and Queen here, it's almost like you're being asked to take responsibility and ownership for where you're at and take action. So you're going to have to work at it this month, where maybe you're not really wanting to work. You're wanting things to just kind of fall into place and go a certain way, and everything's going to turn out great, Who doesn't want that, right? But it looks like it is requiring some work on your part. It's going to work out. I don't want you to be worried about finances and assuming that things aren't going to be okay, because it looks like it's going to be okay. It's just you got to do some work this month to get there. And the Judgment card as the overall energy here, or not the overall energy, but the outcome card, it's really talking about finally coming to a new understanding and realization about what wealth should look like for you, how you obtain wealth, how you will continue to use your talents and skills to manifest wealth for yourself. This is about doing something completely new. So maybe in the month of November, you're looking at starting a new business venture or doing something completely new to manifest abundance for yourself. This is something that I think it's almost like you've been feeling a little stuck financially, feeling like you can't make more than what you're making, feeling like there's a barrier in front of you, I want to say. It's like as soon as something good happens, you're put back on, it's almost like you get a little bit of money, but then it has to go out somewhere else. So it's like it wasn't even there. So you're maintaining this place where you want to elevate yourself. You want to be able to have more financial security. And if it's not financial to you, this can just be emotional security as well for some of you. But I'm feeling strongly this has a lot to do with finances. Even though we only have the Queen of Pentacles here, it's really reading like a financial reading to me. And this is a month where you have to go outside the norm and find new ways, open new doors of opportunity for yourself, find new ways to make money. And that's where you're going to find your greatest success, because you're going to utilize your talents and your skills in ways that you haven't before. You're going to express yourself through your talents and skills in ways you haven't before. And it's really going to open a lot of doors for you that I don't even think you're aware of at this time. You know, this isn't just in the month of November, but going forward. I want to say in the next 6 months to 8 to 9 months, there's going to be some major growth going on for you in that area where you're understanding your skills, your talents, your capabilities in new, refreshing ways, and how you can use that to make a profit. So let me take these oracle cards and we'll look at it a little bit more in depth here. And this is about having to be mentally strategic too. You know, plan it out, plan it out. Don't rush into anything. The King of Swords is a king who's very matter of fact. The facts are the facts, the numbers are the numbers. So that's how you want to look at the actual, number side of the situation. I say, one thing you want to be careful of is not being too analytical of your creative capabilities. Don't stunt yourself by analyzing yourself too much. I want to look at the Queen of Pentacles first. Yeah. So worrying about your security with the House and the Despair card, and trying to figure out how you can be, for lack of a better way of saying it, but just be of service to yourself. How can you help yourself get out of this situation where you're lacking that security that you ultimately want to find? Queen of Pentacles, she's very financially secure. And that's where you want to be. Let me look at the Ace of Swords here. So, even though this card says wedding, it doesn't have to necessarily be in a romantic sense. You could be married to an idea. You could be married to a habit or a pattern. And it's saying here that whatever it is that you've been married to, that you've been doing, because, this is next to the Four of Cups, And it's on the Ace of Swords. This is truth, reality, hard-earned truth. And I feel like this is just, you were married to an idea, it has to end. There's judgments right on the other side of that, an awakening, where you're understanding that this cannot go on. And the Love card, at the end of the day, it's about loving yourself and doing what's best for you, first and foremost. Doing something you love, doing something you're passionate about too. With the Magician here, you have the ability to manifest what it is you want to manifest. I don't think you're fully aware of that, or maybe completely confident in that. And in the month of November, early part of November, we're building that. Let's look at the Nine of Rods. Consistency, soldier, and hope. So it's having to march on and be strong in a situation where maybe we're lacking hope. And it's understanding that things will not change unless you put in the work and put in the effort. You have to have faith and hope in the situation, but you also have to have faith and hope in yourself. I feel like that's lacking. Confidence is lacking when it comes to this financial situation, whatever it may be. For some of you, it may not be that you're necessarily struggling, but it's just like you have a goal. You have a goal to obtain, and maybe you're a little too impatient to get there. Maybe the goal is, I want to save for a vacation, or I want to save for a house, or I want to have so much in the bank in order to feel financially secure. But for some of you, this can be where you're downright, having money issues, and you don't know how you're going to get yourself out of the hole that you're in. November is the month where that happens, and this is about building self-confidence at the end of the day. This money situation I see, it's about you pulling through, having the strength to pull through, proving to yourself that you can, and opening doors for yourself that you weren't even aware was there, by having to find alternative routes to make that additional income. Well, for some of you, I think there may be a situation at work where you may have feelings for someone. And I feel as though this other person is already romantically involved with somebody else. So I would say be careful this month, because I feel like you may be inclined to let this person know how you genuinely feel. But I don't think it's going to go the way that you're hoping it will go. And I think you'll hope or wish that you would have kind of kept it to yourself for the time being. Because I don't see that relationship is maybe near end, okay? This is someone that may be an earth sign, so Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This can also just be someone that is taking the time to build a relationship with at work. For others of you, I kind of feel that this may be a situation where you're feeling too busy for love. You're feeling like work is taking you away from love. And I feel as though a part of you is afraid of heartbreak. So you put up a very strong barrier, guard, and you tell yourself and you tell others that you're really just about having fun and celebrating and being out with your friends, which is great. But there is a part of you that wants romance. There's a part of you that wants love, but you're not willing to open yourself up to receive it and accept it, because there's like a fear of heartbreak, a fear of repeating heartbreak. And I think that there may be some confusion as to what you ideally really want in a partner. So this is really about you overcoming your personal false perceptions of love and your fears about love, um, and opening yourself up a little bit more to that, to the opportunity. I want to say too, that work situation that I explained initially, it may be the opposite too, vice versa, where maybe someone has these feelings for you and they're coming to you this month. So be on the lookout for that. Take some clarifying cards here. I want to look at the Page of Pentacles in the center. Yeah. I think some of you are making an offer, or somebody's making an offer to you that's new. This is somebody you haven't maybe dated, but there's been some type of interest on either of your parts. And they're finally getting this opportunity to speak up about it. However, again, with the Foe card here, I just feel like it's not going to go the way it's planned, because, again, somebody's already involved with somebody else. 3 of Swords. Lover. Yeah, somebody's already invested in somebody. And they're not leaving that partner. This is on the 3 of Swords. House. We have Lover, House, and Journey. I want to look at the 3 of Cups. Some of you, again, this is about a fear of not finding that stability in a relationship, never having that. So it's kind of like you're closing yourself off too much from it. Yeah, see, on the 3 of Cups, if you're hoping that someone will leave a relationship, or if someone's in a relationship and you're understanding or learning this month that that's where they're at, you're realizing that that relationship is actually quite sound or strong, stronger than you thought. And it may bring some sorrow here. So if you're interested in someone who's already involved with somebody else, especially if it's someone you work with and you're uncertain about how they feel for you, be careful what you say. I think this isn't a month where you want to really, I don't know, I believe in speaking the truth, but it may be that you feel like your ego's hit, a bit of an ego hit, because maybe you thought or hoped there was mutual feelings there. So it may make things a little awkward. All right, let me look at what's going on for my coupled Leos for the month of November. My coupled Leos, it honestly looks really, really good. I kind of feel like you and your partner may be exploring new ways of expressing love, receiving love. Maybe you're looking for like new places to go on dates, or new hobbies or interests to share. And I think what this is ultimately doing is it's bringing a lot of happiness to your home and happiness to your soul. I think you're going to feel this month that you're able to be more open and vulnerable with your partner and expressing your love more openly. And I want to say that you may be surprised that your partner has some strong form of expression of love for you that may not be what they typically do, but it's one that it kind of brings a lot of just happiness, emotions to the surface. I see you spending a lot of time with family this month, especially if you have children, if you're married and have children. I see the month of November being a big month of just spending time with family and friends, spending time, I want to say, spreading the love. I feel like Leos this month, especially if you have a family, This is a month where you're really focused on your kids, you're really focused on your family, and it's just because you want to be there. You want to be at home with them. You're feeling that vibe. I'm just feeling like you're feeling that vibe of just wanting to be with your kids, wanting to do fun things, hang out in the backyard or go, I don't know, play board games or, do stuff together. And by the end of November, I think this is going to be a month, a week, I'll say. And the last week of November kind of feels like you're really taking some downtime. There's something here about watching your dreams as well and listening to your dreams. I know that's not really love related, but that's the message here, so I wanted to give it out. Pay attention to your dreams because you may be getting messages through your dreams about something. But yeah, honestly, it looks like a very loving month, a very laid back, let's enjoy the family kind of month. Everybody come over, let's, make some food and hang out and, make some drinks. And I just see, you do that maybe with your adults, but also, with your children. I see you doing a lot with your children besides that, taking them places or spending a lot of time at home. Yeah. I think your partner may find new ways of expressing their love for you this month, reigniting that passion and reminding you of what it's like when you two maybe first started dating. Let's look at the Knight of Cups. Yeah. Oh, this person wants to do something sweet and sincere for you. I think if you're celebrating like an anniversary this month, I'm feeling like somebody may be celebrating an anniversary this month and their partner's going to do something completely unexpected for them. And maybe they've been thinking about it for some time. It's almost like I feel like we're celebrating 30 or 40 years of marriage, maybe even 50 years of marriage. Let me look at the Four of Swords. Yeah. You've been working really hard, and I think it's being acknowledged this month. People acknowledge how hard you work for them. Maybe your family's acknowledging how much you do for them. So this being on the Four of Swords says to me that faithfulness and loyalty that you've devoted to your family, you're getting it back this month.